What's up guys, this is Miasin. So this video is going to be really interesting because for the very first time in this channel's existence, I won't be covering something that already exists or something that is about to exist, but rather something that could exist and straight out of my imagination, because this is going to be custom card support, which is something that I have been asked quite a lot, but I am going to be starting obviously with Cyber Dragon for obvious reasons. It is the best deck out there, it is my favorite deck of all time, and I swear to God, I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say that I might really have like probably 10,000 hours of experience with this deck overall. I really love this deck more than anything, and I'm desperately asking for more support, but every single freaking time we always get shafted by Konami. We always get one-ofs, it's super frustrating, and also the last time that we've got direct Cyber Dragon support was in 2018 in Cybernetic Horizon, which I think has been a little too long, so we're really due for like real Cyber Dragon support this time, and a lot of 3-ofs, please, for the love of God. And I really want this deck to be cohesive and consistent and actually do something, because oh my god, this deck is really bad as an OTK deck. If you want to OTK your opponent, you gotta play Tenpai Dragon. This deck is not great going first. You really need the core in order to start playing the game, otherwise you can't do much. And regardless of how you deck build, there is a maximum of 6 cores that you can play in your deck, 3 core, 3 emergency. That is just not enough, so this deck seriously needs a mega boost. So yeah, there's a bunch of reasons why I am making this video. The first one is because I'm trying to start a new series now that I can't make OCG live match reaction videos, even though technically I can, because legally speaking, I am allowed to make reaction videos, but I don't really want to risk, getting triple striked and then getting my channel terminated. Even though I know I can win in court, it's completely irrelevant. I don't want to waste my time and money. Now, another reason why I am going to be making this video is because there's been some leaks circulating around on the internet, and I can't say anything about them, and I also can't cover them because it is against Konami's rules. So, in other words, you're not going to be getting too much information from me concerning that. As a matter of fact, I also discourage, anybody to talk about that. So yeah, I will be going over 3 new cards that again I came up with myself. Not the artwork, obviously, that's all AI, but the effect and I guess the name only for the first one. But before we go any further, you already know the drill. Smash the like and subscribe button, especially if you love Cyber Dragon like I do. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Okay, so the first one is Cyber Dragon Funf, or Funf, whatever, level 5, 1600 attack, 2100 defense. Funf is 5 in German. Obviously, my German is garbage because I don't speak German. No shit. We have Zwei, Drei, and we have Vier. So yeah, we got 2, 3, and 4. If we get Funf, then obviously we're gonna have all 5, and it makes sense that Funf would be level 5 because that's kind of what it means. Also, like the opposite of stats of Cyber Dragon, which is really cool. Anyways, for the first effect, if you control no monsters or only machine monsters, very similar to Exorcister Martha, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, special summon 1 Cyber Dragon monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So Exorcister, before it got Martha, the deck was completely unplayable. It was garbage. It had a lot of potential, but Martha really turned it into something that could start competing in YCSs. As a matter of fact, it did win 2 YCSs, and for a very good reason. Any garbage deck that has not been getting any support lately, everyone needs their own Martha. So if we could get like a Cyber Dragon Martha, that would be absolutely beautiful, and I think this is a step into the right direction. So anyways, second effect, if your opponent controls a monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, add 1 power bond or 1 overload fusion monster, from your deck to your hand. So with an effect like that, you can OTK your opponent, but not necessarily get access to like everything on turn 1. And also, if your opponent passes on no monsters on the field, you also can't go like, okay, Foolish Burial, send this, and then search power bond. So you can only really OTK when your opponent already played the game, which I think is fair game. There's gonna be like some form of balance between the power level for going first and going second, and you can also only use each effects of this card's name once per turn. And we're not done yet, because a Cyber Dragon Xyz monster that I guess has this card as material, I guess I completely messed up with the effect, sorry, gains this effect. So this card is unaffected by your opponent's card effects. Also, it cannot be destroyed by battle. So what I try to say here is if you, let's say, summon a Cyber Dragon Nova or Infinity, and this card is still a material underneath, it is unaffected by card effects and also indestructible by battle. It was really hard for me to like even word it, because I couldn't do it like the exact same way as like the Utopia monsters. So a monster that was summoned using this monster on the field as material gains this effect. I couldn't do that because once you summon Cyber Dragon Nova, yeah, sure, you get the boost from Funf, but then if you summon Infinity on top, then it loses its protection, which is really stupid. So obviously it had to like keep giving the effect even if you Xyz over and over on top. But if you summon like a Zeus on top, then the Zeus is affected by card effects, and it can be destroyed by battle. So the reason why I want cards like Cyber Dragon, Nova, and Infinity to be completely unaffected by everything is to not only make this deck immune to things like Nibiru plus Imperm or something like that, but also you're actually summoning a real boss monster when you're going first. You're summoning a Cyber Dragon Infinity that can negate stuff, is unaffected by stuff, and indestructible, which even though you might think that this is unfair, I actually think this is extremely fair. The only thing it does is really push people to play the Chimera Tech monsters, which I think, like I said, is fair game. Cyber Dragon deserves the right to be extremely powerful just because there is an inherent counter to it. So even if you have a completely invincible monster, you can still lose to your opponent's 0-card combo, which punishes people for playing very poorly, and it rewards players for respecting the deck. And last but definitely not least, this card's name is always treated as Cyber Dragon. So I could either have that, or this card's name becomes Cyber Dragon while it is on the field or in the graveyard. Obviously, if this card's name is always treated as Cyber Dragon, it is infinitely better because it means that you can go normal summon Hertz and then link it off for Clockwork Knight and then search this and then use the effect of this because you still only control machine monsters, and then you can summon another copy of itself from the deck because it doesn't specify special summon one Cyber Dragon monster with a different name, so you don't even have to play the original Cyber Dragon, and then you can make a Nova or Infinity, whatever, and yeah, you just keep playing. You can do so many things, and then on your follow play, you can search Powerbomb, Overload Fusion, and that's the reason why I think that this card overall, if we could get something like that, it would be super nice, but it wouldn't even be game breaking. It would just be extremely good. Anyways, moving into the second card that I came up with. So this one is a field spell because, again, when a deck is garbage, it needs a field spell, and Cyber Dragon has been a thing since 2005, almost 20 years now, and it still has no field spell. That makes no sense. I feel like almost every single competitive deck in history has had at least one field spell, or at least one card that you could play as a field spell in your deck. Cyber Dragon, absolutely never. When this card is activated, you can add one Cyber Spell or trap card from your deck or graveyard to your hand, except this card. So this card actually gives you recursion, which I think is needed in the deck. So even if you only play like one Cybernetic Overflow, you can recycle it back with this card. So that's kind of cool. You can target one monster on the field. This turn, it is treated as a machine monster. So this would be a way to like inherently replicate the effect of Clockwork Knight. Even if you don't have it, then you can still transform a monster into a machine. That could also make your Cyber Dragon fun easier to summon. So even if you have like a, I don't know, like a Fenrir or something, or a Pancratops, like a generic monster, even a Nibiru, you can still summon your fun because now it is a machine monster. Or you contact fuse using your opponent's machine monster for a Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon because you can target any monster on the field and transform it into a machine. I think this is indirect and direct synergy. It is really cool. And finally, if a Cyber Dragon Xyz monster or Chimera Tech Fusion monster is special summon, you can draw 2 cards. Cyber Dragon has absolutely zero draw power, literally zero. Again, I can think of like so many competitive decks over the years that have had a lot of draw power cards, or a lot of, you know, search cards, or could actually play the pot cards, and Cyber Dragon was never really one of them. So if you get like a built-in Pot of Greed, I think it's also kind of fine. It would be really nice. And obviously you can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. So yeah, just if we add 3 copies of this card and 3 copies of the monster, the Funf, then that would already mean like 7 extra 1-card combos in the deck because, you know, both of them, they get your engine started, obviously. And I think, like I said, that this is fair game. And also, you're not just summoning Infinity, you're also drawing cards, and you're doing a lot of things. And again, regardless of the end board that you make going first, you're still very susceptible to just getting contact fused, which is one of the main reasons why I keep saying that this is fair game. We are allowed to have cards like that, and it wouldn't break the game completely. Anyways, the last card that I came up with is a quick play spell card, and I don't really have a name for it, just like the field spell. So it has 2 effects. The first one is send 1 Cyber Dragon monster from your deck to the graveyard as a cost. Add 1 Cyber Dragon monster from your deck to your hand with a different name. And if you do, immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon 1 Cyber Dragon monster from your hand. So you can go draw phase, activate this, and then foolish, whatever, like a Hertz, and then normal summon a core. And then you're searching off of this card, you're searching off of the Hertz. Core is also searching for something else. So you're getting triple searches in draw phase, meaning that Jewel really doesn't beat you. And to be fair, that's actually the main reason why it is a quick play spell card. The fact that it can be used on your opponent's turn isn't like that relevant. However, it does have another really cool effect, and it is a graveyard effect. So you can banish this card from your grave, set 1 Cyber Trap card from your deck. So this card would kind of incentivize you to play some other Cyber Dragon traps. Right now there's only Overflow, but if we could get like a Salaman Great Roar or a Solemn Judgment like Cyber card, that would be really nice. You could set that and actually have a better going first, because again, right now going first Cyber Dragon is pretty shit. And finally, you can now special summon the monsters the turn you activate this card except machine monsters, and you can only use each effect of this card's once per turn, which again I think is needed when a card is this powerful. So yeah, just looking at the 3 cards that I came up with, I think I've done a relatively good job at balancing out the deck and really just adding a bunch of 3-ofs in the strategy, because right now we have way too many 1-ofs. It's really getting on my nerves. It's really frustrating how the best way to summon Infinity in the Cyber Dragon deck is by using 2 copies of Galaxy Soldier. I think it's really pathetic. Obviously, there's Machine Dupe, but I don't even think Machine Dupe is like the most optimal way of summoning Cyber Dragon Infinity. Like, it's actually really annoying because it relies on like your normal summon. You gotta draw like Machine Dupe and a weak, like a low attack Cyber Dragon monster. There's so many things that can go wrong. So obviously, if we have like an Exorcister Martha, that would be nice. If you could have like more ways of searching it, that would be nice. If we could have a field spell, if we could have draw power, if we could have a way to get multiple searches on the draw phase, that would be nice. If we could have ways of like setting cards, so even if we are under draw, we can still do some things, that would also be fantastic. And I think I have been able to answer all these problems. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts about these cards in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And also let me know what deck you want me to make custom support moving forward. And I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.